Hi, and welcome to another episode of Not Your Dad's Beer. I'm your host, Marc Bayes. Today, we are at Euclid Hall, one of the best beer bars in downtown Denver. Very gracious enough to let me film here, which is awesome. And I thought we'd film a really cool one today. We're doing Deschutes White IPA, better known as Chain Breaker. It's part of the Conflux series. Conflux series deals with collaborating with other breweries to make really interesting beer. No one that is in Oregon, so they only go out to other states. So the White IPA is known as the Chain Breaker because everyone else has been doing IPAs, double IPAs, Imperials, and black IPAs. This is the exact opposite. It should be really interesting to see what it tastes like. My bet is it's going to be very similar to a Belgian Wit beer, super dry hops with a lot of hoppy bitterness on the finish. But I don't know, so we're going to pop it open. We're going to see, test it out. This is a collaboration between Deschutes and Boulevard. Boulevard's out of Kansas, and Deschutes, of course, out of Bend, Oregon. So this should be a really interesting beer. We're going to go ahead and crack it open, see what we think. All right, so we're going to go ahead and crack Deschutes White IPA right about now. This comes in at 7.3% ABV, 22-ounce bomber, limited edition. Let's go ahead and see what this lovely beer pours like, shall we? So as you can see right off the bat, great head up front. It's definitely white, not really an amber. It's a pale orange color to it. The head just lingers nice and white right on top, just frothy and delicious looking, not fading real fast. In terms of the color of the beer, I mean, really, it's just a light orange, touch of gold hues to it. Definitely wouldn't expect this to be an IPA if it was randomly poured for you. Definitely not an IPA look, but that's okay. It's what we're going for, the white IPA. Let's go ahead and taste it, see what we think. All right, so we got the white IPA Chain Breaker pot. We're gonna go ahead and see what it smells like and tastes like. So we're gonna give it a nice little swirl. The aromatics do its thing. Head pops up, it's nice. I said earlier that it looked more like a Pilsner. It's actually more like a Belgian Wit. My apologies there, but give it a good smell. It's beautiful. Right off the bat, you're getting tons of just herbaceous hops to it. Real clean too, not real bitter. Tons of floral hops on it, which is really nice. Let's go ahead and see what it tastes like, yeah? That is interesting. Not like any IPA out on the market. Right away, it's very soft, it's very light. It actually kind of reminds me of Bristol's the Chino IPA, just because it's so floral in nature. Literally has the body of a Belgian Wit beer. Dry on the back finish. For 7.3, this goes down real smooth. So right away, the body is very similar to a Belgian Wit beer, where it's light to medium. Definitely doesn't even really cusp on medium. It's real light bodied, super dry hop though. I mean, this thing just, there's so much hops coming off the top, which is real nice. But when you taste it, it's not a bitter hop bomb, which I wouldn't expect from a white IPA anyways. Instead, it's very smooth, it's elegant, it's real clean. There is bitter that comes up on the back, but not overwhelming. It's almost as if the idea is to smell it and you get the big hop aroma from it, but when you taste it, it just comes across very elegant and clean. So not a massive, big amber IPA. 7.3%, really easy to go down. It's a very light IPA. I'm liking it. It's really easy. It's really sessionable almost. Not for the ABV, but just in the flavor wise. Most IPAs are going to dry out your palate, leave you with nothing but a bitter feel. This is a really interesting take to it. It's not your normal IPA at all. This is phenomenal. Perfect for the summertime. This is definitely something in, yesterday, essentially we had the hottest day of the year. This would have been a great beer to have because, when you get out and you're sweating and you're active, you want a beer to quench your thirst. For some reason, IPAs and that bitter feel does that for you. But a lot of times it can be a little bit too heavy or high in ABV, especially if you drink the IPAs that I enjoy, doubles and Imperials. So With that being said, at 7.3%, as a white IPA, essentially, this is really, really tasty. Highly suggest you go to the store and pick it up. I think you can get the bottle for about $7-8. I wish I could sell her a couple, but you know the hops are going to drop off. That's just not the way it works when it comes to the IPAs, but that's all right. Food that I would pair this with, surprisingly, I would go with seafood because it's so light and crisp. I think oysters would be interesting with it, even though, you know, typically you go for a smoked beer, a Rausch or a smoked porter, let's say, with oysters. Scallops would go really, really well. I think here masa would taste excellent with it. Cheese-wise, I would definitely want something similar to a goat cheese, nothing overbearing. I think a sharp cheddar would be a little bit too much. A Carta Blanca might work really well. Euclid actually had a really interesting cheese here called Anton's Red Love. That would pair up with it really well. It's a spoon cheese, melted table side. It's really soft and elegant. You want to pair this up with elegant foods when you talk about pairing food. So things that are very clean and delicate, that's what you're looking for. Really cool beer though. I mean, Deschutes and Boulevard really did a great job with this. I'm expecting Boulevard's version to be actually less hoppy, at least on the nose, because it's definitely big dry hopped. You can get all the smell right there. In terms of flavor, it's, you know, it's soft and delicate. I would imagine that, that burp right there is nothing but bitter. It's cool. I would imagine Boulevards, because they stick more on the wheat side where Deschutes does a lot more of the hoppy stuff. I would imagine Boulevards would be just more elegant, more soft, just prettier all around. But overall, for a really interesting take on an IPA, this is the way to go. Hopheads out there, not for you. Those who say you don't like IPAs, this is your bottle. So guys, girls, go home to your loved ones. Oh, you don't like bitter beer? This is the one you should probably get. It's freaking fantastic. Number 2 in the series by Deschutes. Go pick up a bottle. $8, worth it. Trust me. Yeah. So thank you for joining us. The elusive white IPA, Boulevard Deschutes Chain Breaker, number 2 in the Conflux series. 7.3%, 22-ounce bomber. Share it. Enjoy it on a hot day. Vegetables, light food, seafood, crisp fare, if you will. That's what you want. Thank you. See you next time. Deschutes, number 2 Conflux, white IPA, the Chain Breaker. Yeah, this is not your dad's beer.